Okay, we're live, or so it says anyhow. So how's everybody this Monday night? I don't know what the weather's like where you are, but down here it's pouring rain. It's been doing it all day for the last 3 or 4 days. Well, a nice tropical paradise I live in. All right, I want to talk about the big headline today. The government of Afghanistan collapsed and the Taliban took over Kabul. I don't know how old all you people are there that watch this, the one or two people that actually take the time to look at this. But if you remember April 30th, 1975, and the photographs that are taken there, you can see them on YouTube. You will see the last helicopter leaving Saigon, and you will see similar photographs of the people trying to climb on the jets today, back in 1975, where the Vietnamese people were lying, hundreds of them, thousands of them actually, to get on one helicopter. When that helicopter reached the aircraft carrier, it was pushed overboard so that the pilots couldn't go back. They wanted to go back. They wanted to help the people. That makes Afghanistan this generation's Vietnam. Vietnam was a war for the industrial complex of this country. I mean, it wasn't about winning anything. We fought it for I forget 10 years or something like that. Over that, we lost 50,000 Americans over there. Nothing was accomplished. A few years of negotiations in Paris with Kissinger and whatnot. It was started by a Democrat, John Kennedy, or actually it was started by Eisenhower, but Kennedy thought it was worthwhile because the original purpose was worthwhile. Some say that's why he got shot, because he wanted to get out of Vietnam, and the industrial complex couldn't handle that. But I don't want to go into that conspiracy theory. But the same thing is true over in Afghanistan. Afghanistan has nothing except stones, okay? It's pretty much doesn't have any. Its biggest claim to fame is it's part of the Golden Triangle, which means that all the heroin, 90% of the heroin in the world comes out of that area, and that's the CIA has been involved in it. It's all screwed up there. Taliban will definitely be using it to finance whatever it is that they do, and nobody really knows what they do. They're not They're not top people. They're afraid of America. So I don't know exactly what they're planning on doing, or if anything will happen over there. The people that were trying to get out of there will not get out of there. The bad people will get out of there, but not the good ones. That's just like Vietnam. Warlords got out of Vietnam. Generals that should have been shot in the back got out of Vietnam. I'm not talking about American generals now. I'm talking about Vietnamese generals. I know some people that were over there in Vietnam. They came back and they tell you the stories of the people. People didn't want the war. They just wanted to be left alone to grow rice. They were good people. And they've proven that after the war, we go over and try to sell people an American idea, gumball machines, prostitution, all that stuff, gambling, that's what we bring to a country, Afghanistan's no different. When we went into Iraq the first time, Desert Storm, that's the first time was, I think. I'm not sure. Anyhow, we had a way of getting out. All right, we knew how to get out without anything happening. All right, when we went in there after 9/11, we had no way of getting out. So what happened? We went in there. Because there were supposedly weapons of mass destruction, which there weren't. We went in there and we got rid of Saddam Hussein, and Iran breathed a sigh of relief because now they didn't have to defend their borders so hard. They didn't have to put thousands and thousands of dollars or millions and millions of dollars into the defense of their border. So they could put that money into making nuclear weapons and turning themselves into a power. what we did was completely disrupt the area. Now we go into Afghanistan because we were see we the CIA had supported the rebel forces, the jihadists, to or not that there's another term for them that they use for that. It doesn't make any difference, but they went over there and were supplying guns and whatnot to people that were fighting the Russians that were there, and that they were beating the Russians by throwing boulders off of cliffs in the valleys and taking out their Hind helicopter, which is supposedly one of the heaviest armed helicopters in the world. But one of the things you learn over there is that you can't beat the people. They're already living in shit. They got nothing but stone. You can't beat those people. I mean, you're never gonna gain control of that country. It's the Taliban will have control of the cities, but they won't have control of the country. The drug lords control not the well, yeah, I guess you call them drug lords that are up in the mountains in the Iron Triangle, in the Iron and Gold Triangle. They control it. Uh, Nothing's going to happen up there. They'll probably with the Taliban in place to be exporting more bad things than good things. They don't have any good things except the culture, the people, and the Taliban destroyed that the last time they were there, blew up all their statues and stuff. So, like I'm saying, the comparison between Afghanistan and Vietnam is so similar. I mean, I looked at a photograph today. They're showing this man being lifted up on a rope into the jet cargo area by the crew of the plane. This big what is it? I forget the name of them. It's a jumbo transport plane. It's one of the biggest planes that the Air Force and Navy have. I think it's the Air Force plane to transport. It's a cargo ship to transport things. And I compared that with the pictures of the April 30th, 1975, the helicopter on the roof of the embassy, last one leaving the country. The similarities in that were so similar. I mean, it's. I don't know why the newscasters haven't done anything about it. Nobody's doing anything about it. I find it amazing that nobody's doing, repeating this and showing it. That, maybe our government doesn't want to be compared to that. Biden was in a no-win situation when he got in there. Everybody had convinced Trump and the rest of the world that we should get out of there. And yeah, we needed to get out of there. But the way we went about it, it's the way we went about it in Vietnam. I mean, what you don't see in the photographs of Vietnam on that day is that the North Vietnamese tanks were rolling down the streets of Saigon. It wasn't a good situation. Okay, we had minutes to get out of there. And after that, they couldn't come back, and they didn't get. A lot of American people, a lot of people over there that helped us and wanted to be part of our country and whatnot, were killed, are re-educated. Which is not something you want to happen to you. And you think it was bad getting held back in kindergarten? Whew. The situation over in Afghanistan is similar. The people that we're trying to get out of there, that we've got countries that are agreed to help these people, but the way they're going to get them out is that none of them are going to be vetted, and you're going to get a lot of bad guys coming out of there. That just happens, I mean, because we rush everything. We had to get out. I think that's Biden's problem. He had to get out of there, because the Taliban had no power. The Taliban was history, and somehow or another we sat around on our asses and let the Taliban come back because we were worried about the jihadists, ISIS, and everybody else that's operating out of that country. They don't operate out of that country. They operate out of Pakistan. Like I said, there's nothing in Afghanistan worth fighting for, except the people. Those people have lived that way for a long time, and to sit there and think we're going to make a change over there. That whole part of the world has been the way it is from Egypt to Afghanistan to the Vietnam, whatever. Not so much in Vietnam, but you see it in Afghanistan, Egypt, and whatnot, and in Iran and Iraq. They're tribal. Those countries. They've been fighting each other for hundreds of years since before the Bible was. Before Jesus Christ walked around, they were fighting each other, and they've been fighting each other ever since. It's a never-ending war, And you've got Israel over there, and look, I got nothing against the Jewish people. I think they're fine people, but the country's government and the way they operate does nothing peaceful about them. They say, well, it's to preserve their way of life. A religion can survive anywhere. It doesn't need a homestead. If they blew up the Vatican in Italy, the Catholic religion would still survive, right? But that whole area is just, they fight each other. They've been doing it forever. It's ridiculous. It's even the Jewish religion doesn't respect the Catholic beliefs, and the Catholics don't respect the Jewish beliefs. They say openly they do, but not really. You got so much going on over there, and every country is a potential Vietnam. To get involved over there is absolute suicide. It is probably the dumbest thing any military leader can do, or any government leader can do. You go over there and you get involved in something that you can't win. You just can't win. The guerrilla experts in the world will tell you that. The guerrilla warfare experts in the world will tell you that. You can't win over there. But the military, you're looking at governments like the United States and Russia, whatnot, that have all this military sitting around. They have to do something with it. These guys, there were stories going about the, I think it wasn't, I don't know whether it was the 101st Airborne of the United States or one of the airborne divisions. They used to give the troops steel-toed boots. They had to take them away from it because they were going into town and kicking people to death. These people are not normal people. These parachutists, they're violent. They have a tendency to be violent, and they can't be kept in near major cities and whatnot. Once they get away from their unit and get away from the major cities, they're pretty much okay. But we have a military that a lot of these guys just can't sit around. They have to be doing something. That's why teams that like the SEALs and whatnot aren't stationed in the United States. They're always in combat of some sort. They're always overseas because you can't keep these people around. They're too high strung. They're not bad people. They're great people. All right, so don't go around saying I'm saying these units are bad people. They're great people. It's just that their training doesn't include how to relax without causing problems. Marines are the same way, but people around Guantanamo and Paris Island and whatnot, they expect that. They know what to expect from the Marine Corps. The women that are there know exactly what's going on. We run into problems overseas with them. The Marines run into problems overseas, especially Japan, and I don't know why that happens. Sometimes I wonder if who's making what up over there. But that's why we have wars. That's why we have millions of troops stationed around the world. You bring them home, your unemployment rate goes through the roof. These guys can't work. The technology, the ones that are in the technology are going to stay in the service. They got it made in the service. They don't have to worry about anything outside. They got to worry. So what they're going to get let go? That's the armed troops. Those are the grunts. The grunts get kicked to the ground, and kicked to the sidewalk, kicked to the curb. That's the terminology. They get kicked to the curb, and that's just. They're not prepared for that. It's like we have no preparedness for leaving for leaving Afghanistan, and what pardon me, and one of the things that we've proven is that we are not prepared to handle combat troops when they come home from combat. Now you've got hundreds of thousands of these guys floating around the United States right now, or wherever they are, Europe, United States, what have you, with nothing to do. I mean, you can't keep them ready. Where are they going to train? We don't have big enough training fields, or everybody says the conflicts are going to be over there. So where do we train them? In the Sahara? Well, the way things are going, you can probably train them in Colorado. There's no water going to be left. But I mean, theoretically, we don't have enough area to train them. It's like who was it? We built a weapon called the atomic cannon, and I think there were 2 ranges in the United States that this thing could be fired at, because its range was like, I don't know, huge, over 26 miles. It was like a naval gun, Those suckers were, they fired forever. How do you test it? Naval guns can be tested. You go out in the ocean, big deal. You drop a few bombs in the middle of the ocean, you kill some fish. You're not disrupting anything by the time the shell gets to anywhere. But we don't have all the facilities to test all the weapons that we have, and that's part of war. We send these people into combat situations to test weaponry. All right, this is how the arms industry makes money. You don't think now that like this thing that happened in Haiti, that they said Colombian soldiers were U.S. trained Colombian mercenaries were in there? You don't think that happens everywhere, that there's mercenaries? These guys are trained to do one thing: to fight, to kill. They live on the adrenaline rush, Without that, they're not going to go to work for 9 to 5. Guys don't join the Army because they want a 9 to 5 job. Air Force maybe, and I'm not. Air Force is very technical, so you have a different set of rules in the Air Force, but they have their commando units. They have their version of SEALs and Rangers and whatnot. But if you're an Army Ranger, or if you're a Delta Force, what do you do when you come out? It's assuming you stay in there a long time, 20 years or whatever, and you come out, okay, you got enough money to buy a farm. You can't water anything right now. There's no water around. But you could buy a farm or something like that and sit back and do nothing. That's not their style. It isn't. So when they have disciplinary actions, what do? They discharge people. They send them out without. They get nothing when they leave. When their dishonorable discharge gets nothing when they leave. They don't get anything. So they're out there. Vietnam created a homeless population that still exists today in New York and Los Angeles, Chicago, all the big cities. The same thing's happening with the guys coming back from Afghanistan. The similarities between Vietnam and Afghanistan are amazing. Okay? You have a president. Nixon came in to get rid of I think it was his second term though, so I'm not sure. But anyhow, he came in to get rid of to get out of Vietnam. Okay? All right. So that he did that. Biden came in, and Trump had already started the thing in motion, and Biden just said, "Okay, I'm gonna get us out of there." And he was right. We needed to get out of there, but somebody screwed up someplace along the line with a little thing called timetable. What are we doing with all these people? I saw pictures of the equipment the Vietnamese got from us when we left. They could have started another war with the stuff we left behind. I don't know what's being left behind by the United States right now. All right, the technology and whatnot that the Taliban's going to get their hands on. But we basically, after we left, we kind of ignored Vietnam. Vietnam hasn't done anything bad. I'm not so sure the Taliban would do that, but getting involved over there was a mistake in the first place. Because of I can't even remember losing my mind. But what's his name wasn't there. He was in Pakistan. Getting involved in Iraq made absolutely no sense whatsoever because they didn't like Hussein. They put him in power. They put Hussein in power. And then, they didn't like what he said. That happens when you put a despot in power. They're not going to stick around and shake your hand afterwards. They're going to take off on you. This was this move. This hurry up, get out of Afghanistan was probably one of the dumbest things that America has ever done, next to Vietnam. But we had to get out of Vietnam, and we had to get out of it right away. We went into a slight recession after that. I don't know what's going to happen with Afghanistan if we get out of there. The crap that's going to go on over there. Now you've got two countries over in that part of the world that are expansionists that we helped make, okay? Iran and Afghanistan. And we're pulling out gradually, if we're not already, most of our troops are out of Iraq. And that's just another place that's you think Iran's just going to sit back? They hate each other. They're going to go jump at Iran. If they can jump in Iraq, they're jumping in tomorrow. And by the time we respond, and we're going to respond with air power, which doesn't do any good because all you do is blow up buildings over there. These armies walk around, you can't tell who they are and whatnot. God, I'm upset. This is just, I don't know what it takes to get peace in this world. Maybe we do need an alien to come down here and threaten us. With total and complete annihilation. Of course, with Trump would try to buy him off or make a deal for a hotel on his planet or something like that. You got Russia would, try to make a deal for, buy him off, give him money or something like that. They just because we don't understand things. I'm not a genius, but I look at it and say we don't understand. And I can tell by the way we're acting, I can tell we don't understand it. We have no idea what's going on, and yet we continue to do these stupid things. And it's just, I see nothing good coming in our future. I think I can see Trump or DeSantis coming in and getting elected, and Biden Biden's not going to run for a second term. He's not going to be a 90-year-old president. So that part's done with. The Republican Party in general is just a bunch of nitwits. The Democrats have some sane people, but not that many. They're all about themselves too. Don't kid yourself. That's part of politics. You get into politics for money. You don't get into money and power, or power and money, depending which one you want first. But you're not in it for the humanitarian reasons. Don't let little AOC fool you when she says that she makes this pitch that she's in it for the climate, for the country. That bullshit. She's in it for the publicity and the money. She likes being a star. And unless we can get, I don't know, lobotomies for everybody in politics, maybe these wars won't happen anymore. But I understand Bush's position when he started all of this stuff. He had to do something. He didn't have any choice in the matter because of 9/11. He had to do something. He did make the wrong decisions. Even his father said that if you're going to go into Iraq, go ahead, go into there, but have an exit strategy. He had no exit strategy. He didn't care. What did he care? Afghanistan's the same thing. You know how many bombs we dropped that blew up half a mountain and whatnot over there, and still, what's his name wasn't there. He's living in a nice chateau out in Pakistan, someplace. Cable TV, and we're sending troops in there to to climb over rocks and go into caves looking for this moron. He made one offensive move against the United States. He supported it. And I don't know how much he actually had to do with the actual development of that move, but 9/11 was his only claim to fame. After that, all he did was tie up American forces over there, you know, and keep attention off of other things. See, that's part of what countries do now. They've learned that if they can keep us from focusing on our domestic problems, we'll self-implode, just like everybody else around here has, just like Russia did. You know, China's next on the list to self-implode. I don't know. I wish you guys would actually watch this and make comments and stuff, because then I could possibly, have something to argue with you about. But as it stands, all I do is get up here and put my headphones on, sit in front of the microphone, and rant and rave for 30 minutes, and keep my eye on the clock because I'm running out of things to say. But do take a look at that photograph. The photographs on Google. Go to Google Images. Type in April 30th, 1975, Vietnam. Or better yet, go to last plane from Saigon. Any of those things will get you the photographs. And if you look, if I can, I'm going to try and put it up on this on the cover of this video. I'm not sure, if I can do that or not. We'll see. But that's, that's what it's all about. It's stupidity. Generals are good at sending people to die. Presidents are the same way. They care. They say they care. Well, I don't see them shooting themselves, getting suicidal or anything over it. So I don't know how much they really care. I know Trump wouldn't give a shit one way or the other. He's down here. He wants a hotel down here in Medellin. Yeah, because of all the, he's got all his contacts with the wrong people. All the people, money people, billionaires down here are all involved in drugs. And they got more money than he does. That's just the way it is in South America, There's no such thing as an honest government down here either. I don't know if there's an honest government anywhere, Maybe a little island nation someplace has got an honest government, but maybe our Native Americans have honest governments on their reservations and whatnot, their tribal councils, but I don't see an honest government anywhere, It's pathetic. And look what it's doing. Vietnam, Afghanistan. We had where did we go? We went to the little island afterwards. What was the hell is the name of that one? I can't remember. They made a movie about it. Clint Eastwood in it. But that was all, it's like Panama. We went down to Panama for a victory. That's what we want. We wanted to win something. We win these little things, and we lose these major pieces of property and whatnot. Which is just stupid. But and we're just really, really dumb, and that really, I just don't know how to describe it. It's just, we do all this stuff all the time. But anyhow, look for video. That'll be volume 72 or 71, something like that. And I'm going to have the picture from Vietnam there. And, pretty much be talking about the same stuff. That won't be as long, be short and concise. And then come back next Monday, and talk to me, people. Give me a break, I don't think I'll stop this, but, there's always that possibility. I'll go back to just posting videos since nobody's listening to me. But check out my 3 for free records on YouTube and on Tumblr and Facebook and Twitter, during the week. All right. Okay, that's it. Time's running out. I'm actually out of here.